Hello and good afternoon. And we're now venturing our final session with the final 5 presentations. Our first presentation is from Andre. Andre, are you around?
I
Yeah,
am,
thank you.
yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Let me open.
Okay. Just that you have 10 minutes. We'll give you a 7-minute warning, and followed by that, there'll
Do
be
you
5
see
minutes to go.
do you see my slides?
Yeah, you can put it into slide.
Yeah,
That's it.
do you see slides? Yeah, is it going? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for accepting me to the this event. Was interesting for me yesterday and today. Very a lot of information for me to go on, and thank you very much. So I'm one of the DBA students from business and management, and I've only recently started, maybe 6 months ago. So my project is very on the young phases, and I'm changing it on the go. So some of the titles, some of the methodologies that I've chosen might be changed already and will be changed over the years. So right now I'm going to explain what the problem I'm going to deal with, what the research I'm going to do, and why it is a matter for me and for everyone. So the research title is Effect of Managerial Culture Intelligence and on the diversity inclusion in the high-tech industry. Now, why it is a matter, I'm going to introduce first how the engineering development is works. Teams are engineering team is mostly 5 or 10 people, between 5 to 10 people, not much more. And manager mostly have multiple teams like this. So the tasks are separated between different people. And in most of the cases, people need to communicate on daily basis to get and update what others has done. So you can just receive the task and months work on it and forget everyone and just deliver the progress. You need to communicate with others and deliver when someone else needs what you need to deliver. So sometimes it's both working on the same task and just cross delivering something. Now, engineering team is mostly based on different people, and they could be multicultural, neurodiversity, and diversities. What I'm trying to say is that the people who working in the industry in engineering, why they are multicultural, and what is multicultural? Multicultural is a person who is born in one country and then he's relocated to live or work in another country. It can move back to his born country, but it doesn't matter. For time being, he moved to another country. His culture intelligence, cultural perception of another cultural settings is changed. So his culture intelligence might grow, might change, and the culture intelligence acceptance of another culture, like it does mean it's not have to accept it and might reject it, but it's already have concept of another settings. It's not the same setting as he born and lived in all the time and never changed. Now, neurodiversity is quite a large group of people. It could be different autistic, dyslexic is very many different people could be included in neurodiversity team. And neurodiversity people are not always go open. Not all the time they actually publicly say they are neurodiverse, and they might be not diagnosed at all. They might live all their lives. They just don't know why they can treat, for example, and it's just one of the example. Or if they're autistic, they might not don't know exactly why they can't communicate freely with everyone, or they need different environment, like lighting environment, like sound environment, and this is generates sometimes complexity between communication in the team members, especially when the teams work on remotely. The third group of people is diverse people, which is 99% of us. It could be different gender, different ages, different ethnicities, etc., etc., etc. What I'm trying to argue is that the people in engineering teams are mostly multi-diverse. It's highly unlikely that one of the people are not from this group. And in some cases, some people actually have intersection of all three diversities, like one person could be at the same time multicultural or diverse, or one of the diversity or one of the native diversity. One of the example you might not like it, but for example, Elon Musk, he is multicultural because he's born in South Africa, moved to America, and then he's the neurodiverse person. He's publicly says that he's the neurodiverse, and he diverse person because he's age already after some center age. So he's already fail in the category when he's multi-diverse. Now, why it is a matter? It is a matter because in agile process, when we develop in engineering team, we communicate quite often. So communication between multicultural or neurodiversity might be in some sort of complexities because multicultural might don't understand, for example, language very well or culture very well. Someone who says something, it might not perceive the same way, and then the conflict might start up. And here we go into the next idea of my research is paradox frame, which has been introduced fairly long time ago. Paradox frames is template when something in isolation work very well, but when it's all together, it's kind of cannot work together anymore. So the paradox frames is mostly our multicultural teams because they are multicultural, neurodiverse, and diversities. They cannot function properly unless someone else, like manager, know how to manage them properly or manage them effectively. Properly is not the right word. Effectively, like to get the best performance, manager need to understand that this is a paradox frame, which is multicultural team, and how to deal with all of differences that could arise from the complexities and communication between all of the members of the team. Especially this will be highlighted in remote environment when everyone will sit at home, for example, and it doesn't matter whether it is multicultural or neurodiverse or diverse. At home, the communication is already broken, and we seen then all the engineering, most of the engineering company moving, working remotely or hybrid working, like couple of days in office, couple of days outside, or some work full time outside. So the communication between people still needed to be done, and delivery of the task still needed to be done. So the manager, if he can't effectively understand the problems, that this is a paradox frame, he actually failed to deliver task in time because in agile development of the engineering, you need to deliver something in very short time. And if customer want to change your, for example, a feature you're developing, you need to change it in kind of couple of fixed times. So this is a new mode that every company moved from a waterfall process 20, 30 years ago to the agile process since 2003. So everyone work in this mode. Now, what I'm trying to argue is the manager with paradox mindset, which is what is paradox mindset? Paradox mindset is a person with ability to actually strive on the differences of others or difference the problem and can actually override this problem much more effectively. So it does understand that this is a complex situation and need to deal with this differently. Here we come to the cultural intelligence, and I've already mentioned in the first couple of slides, the person who is multicultural most of the time have much higher cultural intelligence by comparing to others who lived and never moved from his home country. The same I trying to argue that the manager with higher cultural intelligence will effectively better communicate and better manage the multicultural team, multi-diverse team, which is paradox frame team. So I'm trying to investigate and I'm trying to research and prove the fact that manager with higher CQ, with higher cultural intelligence and good paradox mindset will be much better deal with performance of the team management.
3 minutes left.
Yeah, now I have couple of research objective and it might change a bit, but a couple of them is connects how inclusive management influence work performance of multi-diverse engineering team, as well as how culture, intelligence, and paradox mindset affect paradox frame management. Some of them I want to connect the financial impact and connect the company is actually dealing with losses when the manager have low culture intelligence and low paradox mindset. So it does impact the performance and does impact the company delivery product, and then it does impact for the how much company can sell the product, and then how much company can actually receive the income. Now, methodology I've chosen is multi-approach, multi-method quantitative study. I'm planning to send questionnaires to sample I've chosen and measure CQ, paradox mindset, some of the emotional intelligence, and connect it to company profitability. Data sampling is quite large because it could be manager who manage diverse team. It could be small diverse team and team lead, for example. It could be managers that actually CEO who manage other people. It could be CTO, which is technical lead, who manage other managers that manage other people. So I have quite large amount of samples I get chosen, and it could be any company in the world, like all the IT companies over the world. I do agree that I do have some limitation with the approach because choosing, for example, 100 companies and get all the statistical data doesn't mean that it can be generalized over all the 1,000 or more than 1,000 companies over the world. And depend when I going to ask and it's of course the complexity is can I actually say this is hybrid working environment and remote working environment or multicultural is actually the same impact on everything. Thank you very much. This is my presentation. Sorry, it's quite short. Any question?
Thank you for that, Andre. Any questions? Any hands raised? Questions? Valid?
Yes. Hello. Very interesting topic, and I think the concept of managerial style for managing a virtual organization have been an interesting issue and challenging issue because like multiple presentations today. So do you think that when we have this kind of hybrid or virtual organization, the concept of cultural diversity and multicultural teams is more common. So like compared to traditional organizations, do you think like the same issues will arise or the same negative challenges for multicultural teams?
I think I'm trying to connect few issues at the same time. Multiculturalism and neurodiversity and diversity. What I'm trying to argue is that all of these three issues is actually the same. We don't need to divide and start to make research on multicultural and then skip over the neurodiversity and say neurodiversity is much difficult to investigate and research. That's why it's a very high gap in research at the moment. No one touching neurodiversities. But when neurodiversity works in engineering industry and someone who work remotely, absolutely perfectly work remotely and never speak with anyone, but when he need to speak with someone, he actually can't communicate. Is this still the same problem as someone from multicultural, from some, I don't want to choose any country at the moment, very low English background and cannot speak very well or cannot understand very well, he can just speak. So both people fall in the same category and both people have the same problem. And manager saying, oh no, I don't want to actually. The manager will tell it's very hard to manage both of them with no relation of who is multicultural, who is neurodiverse. So that's why I've chosen to join all three groups at the same time and say this is a paradox frame and you need to deal with whatever paradox frame it is. Even if you take one from the equation, you still will have the same paradox frame.
We have a hand raised from Emily. A question, Emily?
Hi, thanks, Sanjay, for your presentation. Really interesting. I come from a health and social care background. I wonder if these issues are unique to engineering folk or if they could be applied to working in healthcare.
I wouldn't tell it's only unique to engineering. It's just my background is 20, 30 years working in engineering, and I can really apply and see and sense all of this for last 30 years. That's why I've chosen engineering. But I will tell that any team that have all three three section of the people: neurodiversity, multicultural, and diversity will generate the same paradox frame. I would argue even one person from all others that is neurotypical, which it's quite hardly defined neurotypical, one person multicultural will generate the same paradox frame. If one multicultural and everyone else, for example, born and live in Great Britain all the time and never change the country.
Just one question. In your title, you said it's the teams of engineers. Are you assuming that an engineer is the same engineer in the manufacturing industry as in the IT industry? It's a very diverse term to use the word engineer. Have you considered that?
Yes, very good question, Richard. Very good question. Yes, I'm likely going to change it to IT industry. Yes.
Well, thanks for that, Andre. We have a presentation now. Any more questions? Thank you, Andre.
Yes, thank you very much.